Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar today. This is Sarah Green, a relationship therapist and coach. Today I have an interesting topic for you. It's called Dating Smarter. I'm using psychology, coaching, and some matchmaker insights to find out how we can build meaningful connections in dating. So, dating is can be an adventure and at the same time it's like a classroom which we can learn. So we all have heard they say, oh, try to write down what you want in dating and have a kind of a checklist. But what's the problem with this checklist? This checklist, it's good to know what you want, but at the same time, it can limit our opportunities. So, based on psychology tips that we know, we have like in dating, we can have many choices, and this choice overload can make things hard. And also, if we have a confirmation bias, for example, we say that this type of group of people are not good, or for example, if a person does this thing is not good, or like we have those kind of biases, um, then we are limiting ourselves to the some choices, which then we can lose um, other choices. So what can we do that instead of having a big checklist and just going through that, um, as we know, no one is perfect, and there's no perfect person, and it's not like computer or machine. We give an ingredients and say, oh, build this person for me. So we might find someone with some good things, but other things missing, and again, another person has some good things and other things missing. So what can we do? So it's better we focus more on our values and emotional compatibility and find out what are our top kind of values and try to kind of do matching based on those things and be flexible with your checklists. So there is like a challenge for everyone that they say, oh, how we keep mystery and at the same time we try like they want to be available, but at the same time they say, oh, if you are available, then you might lose the person. So it's a kind of a challenge that how to keep mystery and at the same time, keep the interest. So I think everyone have heard this that they say that men lose interest if dating feels too easy, or men are hunters, or men are chasers. So I think it is like some psychology based on that because there is like a reward system in the brain that this reward system works based on novelty and pursuit. So some kind of chasing, I think, some, especially men, prefer doing that, and even women, if something, seems too easy, they sometimes human things, oh, it doesn't have a value because, it's, oh, this person is all the time accessible, or whatever I say, it's all the time is yes, or it's just, too being too available. So it's good to have a balance, especially at the beginning. Balance availability with some kind of self-respect. So don't over invest too soon. So keeping a little independence, for example, not texting back immediately, sometimes can maintain excitement. It doesn't mean like play a game or something like that. So I don't recommend kind of playing a game, but I always say try to focus on your life as well. So if you see, for example, you are really busy with something, don't force yourself to immediately respond back, but don't like make it natural kind of. If you are busy with something, keep busy, and after that you can respond back message. If you are not busy and you see the message immediately, you can respond immediately. But try to make it a bit kind of natural and unpredictable. Not every time, for example, texting quickly and too much be available, too much investing at the beginning without knowing that person. That too much availability, it might, for some people, they just lose interest and say, oh, this person doesn't have value or doesn't have any job to do or doesn't have any life. So that can cause some issues and because human usually they value things which they put some efforts on gaining that. So just keep this in mind, but don't play too hard or show interest as well. So what is between just showing interest and indifference? So matchmaker, like they say, okay, let other person chase, for example, especially men chase, but also show subtle interest. So we say to women, try to kind of show that you are interested in a person, reciprocate that we show that you also like them because human based on psychology we like people who like us. So if don't think if you just all the time play hard, that works. So try to also, when especially you see them small, and ask follow-up questions and try to lean slightly. So show interest, but try to make it, especially at the beginning. I always say it's like a ping pong, like kind of wait other person reaching once you, once the other person, and try to keep the balance. Don't invest too much and don't be indifferent. So the balance is very important. So what about like sharing things with the other person? So sharing is like try not to overshare or rush to merge lives together. That's also very important. Based on attachment theory, we need that secure bonds, they come from gradual connection. So it's very important that it would be gradually, avoid some anxious flooding. I think all of you like have seen like some people who are desperate to find someone, and as you find someone so interested in, they just flood it with like kind of texting or reaching or like showing so much interest. Don't do that because try to do that kind of show interest, but also see what is the other person also reciprocating, or wait also see what is their reaction. And always it's good to wait a few weeks before introducing that person to your kids, to your family. Try to keep mystery alive. And one thing which is important is like, especially first 3 to 6 months, even if you think you are the best match, it's your soulmate, God sent this person, you're fit to each other very well. I think it's better not to tell to everyone or like plan for a wedding or kids or going together. That would be, I think everyone has this experience from the past, knows that the first 6 months is not like reliable because of the rush of lots of hormones which are involved, which can blind us on red flags. So most people cannot see red flags on the first 6 months. After that, when they come to the reality, then they can see, oh, are we really compatible? Because they can see the weaknesses of the other person as well. So just give it at least kind of 6 months before make big decision for like marriage or having children or things like that. So the other point is try to have clarity and honesty from the beginning. So know what you want in a relationship. If you want a casual relationship, you are not looking for serious, it's good from the beginning you say that I'm looking for a casual relationship. And if you are looking for a long-term relationship and you want to like support each other to grow it in long term, tell that from beginning. Don't be afraid to scare people. Some women think, oh, if I say to other person, about like I want a long-term relationship or marriage or something like that, I will scare a man away. Don't think like that. If that's what you want, the right person would like it. So, but you can say in a way that I don't rush. I want this is, this is what I like with the right person. If I find the right person and I know the person well, my ultimate goal would be a long-term relationship or marriage. That is what you can say from the beginning. And for example, in psychology also we have like self-coordinance theory, concordance theory, which says goals which are aligned with authentic desires, they can create satisfaction. So it's very important that your goals will be aligned with authentic desire and try to state your intentions early that, avoid mismatches. So hope that helps. And the other point would be the danger of expectation, especially too early. Like, some expectation can create disappointment. It's something very interesting. Like, for example, I've heard from people um, that they say, for example, some women expect men, for example, for the first date, they take them to the like expensive restaurant or they pay for them. And if he doesn't do that, then so, this is not a this is like a mean man or he's not extravagant, but it doesn't, don't judge too quickly because some, for example, men don't want to invest on a person who they don't know, but after they know the person, if they really like you, they are ready to invest. So it's been like in cases I've seen that, for example, first date, the man asked for sharing the bills, but then he liked the women, and then the other days he paid for her, and also they finally they married to each other. So that has been the cases that I've heard, like and one of my friend this happened, and also it has been cases like from the like for the first few days the man spend a lot of money, take a lady to the, for example, very expensive restaurant, and the lady thinks, oh, this is really a rich man and he is the one who want to invest on me. But as the relationship progress and the man guaranteed that I have this lady, then he is not ready to invest like anymore. So it can things happen. So try not to judge, quickly from the beginning. Just give it a couple of sessions, know that person. And at the beginning, which you don't know, try to kind of a bit balance, you sometimes pay, the other person pay. Maybe first date, if the man wanna pay, let them do that because this is like more common. But just keep it a balance until you know each other. And after a while, if like, you see like a man, for example, someone is like, wealthier and want to pay more for you, invest more on you, that's fine. But find your values there and try not to judge from beginning. They say like not judge the book from the cover, and exactly this is about the dating as well. So if you have like high expectation from beginning, then you might, say no to the people who are really right and nice people. But maybe their culture is different from you and they have things which are different you. This was just one example. It has been like many example of these things. Like for example, some people they might think, okay, if a person um that hasn't gone to the university. So it means this person is not like right or educated or is not right for me. But then they go to a relationship and they know that person, and then they find out, oh, this person hasn't gone to university, but they know much more than the person who has gone to the uni. And for example, he has these capabilities. So it's fine. He has many good things that I can rely, or she has many good things that I can rely. So that is, the things that they say, don't have a checklist and give it a bit some few dates. If you like someone, like 50%, you think, okay, I have a checklist, 50% is matching. So then let it a few days going and see if you see the things that you are really, it's your values. And so the other point is like prioritize dating in your schedule. Like make time for connection. Some people say, love will come when, you least, expect them. You don't need to go and find a person. You just sit back and, when it's the time, the right person comes. As a relationship therapist and dating coach, I don't recommend that. I have been single for a couple of years myself, and yes, people might come and reach to you by chance or accident, but you can always increase the chance if you want to participate in events and give some time to meet people regularly. That really increases your chance that you meet your person sooner. So it's very important. So not put dating at the behind of your chores. So in psychology, it's called investment theory. So commitment grows when people invest time and energy. So try to schedule weekly for social dating activities. So treat dating like fitness. If it really matters to you, try to plan for it. If it doesn't matter, you don't. But as someone who myself have seen, this is something that really it's not easy. You need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You might in the way, face some disappointments. It's a learning process, but you need to keep going. So that's very important that you also assign some time and don't get disappointed and don't think that you just, sit back and, it will happen. So the other things would be like kindness, about kindness. So this is the golden rule for dating. So kindness never goes out of style. So one of the top predictor of relationship success based on Gottman. So things like for the man, opening the door, when the women wants to say goodbye, try to leave your car, give like a handshake, a kiss, a cuddle, thank them for giving time to you. The same for women, saying thank to them or saying a warm kind of goodbye or like after just, having date, send a message saying thank you and things like that. And in general, even if, always look at date as like, going and seeing, meeting new people. It might not be your partner, but you never know. Maybe you see, that person later, that person will be your boss, or you be friends of friends, or you learn from that person. Always look at that as a learning opportunities. You can share your dating stories, you can share how you feel about that and learn from that person's as well. So it's just be open. Don't look at that everyone should be like, your partner can maybe just turn out be a friend or like someone that you just once have a good time and enjoy and then you say goodbye. So look at that as a learning process. So about sharing versus oversharing. Try to balance sharing with over not sharing. So sharing just enough. Because without sharing, we don't show interesting and authentic. But we need to also find a balance. Self-disclosure theory in psychology say mutual gradual sharing builds intimacy. So it's very important that it would be mutual and it would be gradual, yeah? So, but try to avoid like, trauma dumping, for example, some people comes and in the first few days they start, backbiting their, exes and start bringing, how bad has been my exes and what they did to me and how men are or all this trauma they have. Try not to do that because you don't know that person yet. So try to talk about your passions, your interest, and not your ex's betrayal or these things on the first dates. Which is this is very important because that can some people that's kind of a bit of red flag because if someone's saying bad about like their exes, so one day they can say bad about you as well because no matter what their exes did, every relationship is mutual and kind of they have played a role in that as well. So pay attention what a story they bring, and whenever you want to share your story about your exes, try to be positive about that. How we can be positive about a negative story? That is like interesting. For example, you can say, we had some problems, like there were inconsistencies between us, we were not incompatible. Say things in general, but you also say, but I learned, some lessons about myself. I tried to work on myself, I tried to grow, and try to speak positively about your past experience. No one likes, a person who has gone through so much trauma and just coming with so much baggage and negativity come to a relationship. Later you can little by little share more things, but always when share these things try to also show that you have reflection on yourself, you have self-awareness. After break up, you have worked on yourself, you have find your roles and how you can bring a better version of yourself in this relationship. This is very important. So the other things which is very important both in dating and in selling anything to anyone is try instead of selling yourself and be interested, not try to show that you're an interesting person. Try be interested in other people. Other people want to be understood. So it's very important that in dating, um, don't try to impress them by talking too much or like sharing things too much about yourself. Try to be a good listener. Based on psychology, active listening increases perceived connection. So if you're a person that you like talking and like you think you are a bit oversharer, so try to before dating, promise yourself that you go and try to actively listen to the person. Try to talk as well, but not too much. Instead of bragging about yourself, your achievements, and trying to impress that person, try to ask that person as well. Most people get interested into us if they see we are interested into them. So what is your dream destination? Instead of saying all about the trip you had and how amazing it was and everything, say what is your dream destination? And so this is also very important point. And next things which is important in dating is the location and atmosphere. It's very important, especially for the men who plan usually the first few dates. Try to choose somewhere which is comfortable, cozy, like, with warm lighting and like which can foster intimacy and like chemistry and things. People goes to this noisy like, restaurants or cafes. If you haven't been to that place, don't choose that place. Try to know that place well. Try to choose somewhere which is, it's a cozy place. It's easy to talk. Like it's a loud bar is not a good place for dating. So a quiet cafe, or a restaurant, that would be probably a good place, or somewhere in nature as well, like which you can explore things. That would be good for the first few dates. Um, so that's also very important, especially if the men, and I recommend usually for the first few days, men take the lead because that is like more masculine energy showing. and women a bit sit back and try men plan for that and and see if they have interest. And then after they plan for couple of days, then women also can have some initiative and say, recommend this place or that place, or when they are asked by the men, they can suggest places. So this is also very important that let men to take the lead, especially at the beginning. And so the other things is for the first few days, try to um, look at that as a play and experiment. Like try to embrace the journey and look at that as a fun, not pressure. Because if you look at like dating with a negative, oh, again, another one, it really sucks. I don't have time for that. Again, another like person coming and, probably rejecting me. If you have this negative view, don't go to dating because what you have, what is your perspective, that thing will happen. So try to go with a kind of growth mindset. And if there is any setbacks, look at that as a learning process, which can improve your resilience. So look at any setbacks as a kind of learning. And if it is even a bad date, it's a funny story and a self-discovery about yourself. I have had those like bad days, for example, you see a person I remember like one, for example, weekend, I had an exam and a lot to do. And then I met a guy like online and then I wanted to do kind of went for a dating. And when I went, like I spent a lot of time, get ready, go there. And then in a dating, like he looks so much different from the photo he put in his profile. So I was really kind of a bit disappointed, like saying myself, oh, why you were spending this much time and not paying attention. So it's very important kind of that be kind of gentle with ourselves and know this is a learning process. So it might like, we go to like always tell yourself if even it's like 100 days or 1,000 days, doesn't matter. I look at as a learning process. It takes time, but I will find my person. So try to keep positive view. So the other important things is first impressions is very important. And usually they say human within 7 seconds they can make an impression. Like the first 7 seconds are very important, like for making impressions. So try to be smiley, try to be on time, dress well, be punctual, and greet warmly. So it's very important. And also kind of um, if there is any rejection, look at the rejection as a redirection. So normalize it. Don't think if rejection happens even several times, it's a bad thing. It means this is not a right person for you. So every time you're rejected, tell yourself, I'm redirected and getting closer to the person that I want to meet. So don't feel disappointed. Everyone gets rejected. So then final takeaways would be avoid the rigid checklist, try to pace yourself, be clear about your intentions, stay curious, kind, and authentic, and also view dating as growth, not performance. So dating is less about finding the perfect person and more about showing up as the best yourself and recognize who completes you. So I hope these tips helps you. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.